Welcome to another episode of Tangled Rights. I'm one of your hosts, Justin W. Wilson, Esquire. This is Shane D. Cox, Esquire. We are lawyers in the state of Nevada. I'm a lawyer in the state of Kansas. Not intended to create legal client rights. It's called sternity.
Great job. Yeah.
I like
Is
to do
that
it.
real?
I like to do it like the commercials where it's like really fast.
What if somebody like,
It's not intended to create a legal relationship. You are not our client. This is not intended to create a lawyer-client relationship. If you wish to find one, please call us or call someone else. We have a guest.
There you go.
Are you steamed or esteemed?
Esteemed.
Okay, perfect.
I'm hoping to become esteemed one day.
I love that. How old are you?
I'll be 34 in August.
Yeah, plenty of time.
Yeah.
I'm 40. I'm not steamed yet.
Yeah.
You did just turn 40.
Yeah, I did.
We didn't celebrate that here. It was Justin's 40th birthday recently.
Oh, I was like, the fuck we didn't. There were like 10 balloons in the
in the office. We didn't tell our thousands of
hours,
listeners.
our multiple
together.
single-digit listeners. Yeah, February 10th.
Oh, you put it out there.
Big 4-0.
Yeah, 1986, the year of our Lord.
We got something
you
to
go.
show you that I got for his birthday.
Can't show these people.
We
though.
will not show anybody.
Off camera, really?
Off camera, legit.
They wouldn't get mad. It's just so it was a collage that Shane put together. It's probably like the most thoughtful gift anyone's ever got me.
Okay.
It's
What was it?
is
pretty
strange.
unsavory. Let's just say we've had people come in before, and I said, no phone. They tried to take a picture of it. I was like, no.
Oh, you have it framed in the office here?
It's framed in Justin's office. Yeah. We'll
so
show
it's
you
just
after.
it's just
Pictures of you in uncompromising positions.
No. It's all a lot of it's AI generated stuff that it's just like it's about a thing that has happened between us. And you know how the practice of law is, especially criminal law. You deal with some weird situations.
Things happen. Yeah.
Strange things happen. Like today, I get a guy that comes in. He wants to talk to me about a felon in possession case or possession by a prohibited person, and then he's mentioning there's an ancillary drug investigations going on. That's how the cops got to his house. And he's like, oh, yeah, this other guy, and I haven't really talked to him much. I don't know much about him, but he was a friend that was associated with the investigation. I'm like, okay, well, probably, watch the communication. And then when we go to leave, he's in the lobby. This is the guy. And I'm like,
Oh, my
what
gosh.
are you doing? Like, what is happening?
Referred by the same person?
We both wanted to hire you, yeah.
Yeah, well, I might be picking them both up. So,
That's
just weird.
a heck of a conflict waiver.
Not really. I don't think.
There's not much.
If they're both in the same car.
No. There's no overlap. The drug transaction.
Oh, one's charged with drugs, one's charged with a gun.
Yeah, and they're
separate cases, not co-defendants.
Yep.
Well, they potentially are co-defendants in the sense that the chain that starts from the investigation and leads to the guns runs through the.
I see. Okay.
But they're not going to be charged as
They
co-defendants.
doesn't sound like
I don't think they'll be
charged,
co-defendants. I
yeah.
think they'll be completely separate cases because the guns were the result of a search warrant that was executed at the house looking for drugs. They didn't find any, obviously, because this client's not involved. He's innocent, Your Honor.
Yeah. Your Honor, why are you looking at me when you say that?
Future.
Well, only one person in this room has judge blood running through their veins, and it's not any of the three of us. So introduce yourself.
My name is Nick Scotti. I am born and raised here in Las Vegas. I've been practicing here for 5.5 years. I'm in my 6th year now. Used to be a defense attorney, and hopefully, fingers crossed, once the background check comes through, I'll be joining the Clark County DA's office at the end of the month.
Gross. Oh, we said opposite things.
Are you going straight as a deputy, or are you going?
So the way it worked is they weren't hiring deputies when I put in my application.
You got a clerk?
I got a clerk. But
fucking gross.
What I've been told, and again, it's still tentative. It's a conditional offer and everything. But what I've been informed is that when I do start, I will be a law clerk in the appellate division. But since I'm already a licensed attorney, I'll be immediately deputized. So any briefs that I write, I can argue whether it's an appeal on misdemeanor, appeal into the a brief in front of the appeals court or the Supreme
You're
Court.
going to get a lot of writing experience.
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
I mean, dude, so the good thing with that is that they have such an amount of support with the NRAP, Nevada Rules of Appellate Procedure, that you don't have to guess. They've got a brief.
They have a rule for everything there.
Right, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying is like your font will always be right. Your motions are going to have the right headings and stuff. You're not going to have to worry about table of contents. They've already got that made. You just plug and play.
Right.
So you're changing, like you can take the skeleton and put all the meat and everything on it. So that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Formatting always takes forever.
Yes, it's the worst part. And
Yes.
it makes me want to set things on fire.
We won't talk about Justin trying to file something earlier today.
In federal district court in Kansas, and it's the most unintuitive.
Oh, it takes like 15 steps. I remember when I worked with my
God,
dad.
I almost said the F word.
He had to file some stuff in district court, and he would ask me for questions because I'm the computer savvy guy, which is a joke in and of itself. I don't know anything about
Well, they're
computers.
making everything go through an authenticator app nowadays, like
AI generated stuff, or
No,
it's
like
the Microsoft
logins.
Authenticator.
We have
Okay.
our client management software also you got to open up Google Authenticator and get a code and type it in before the code disappears. And same
You
with
have 20
Pacer
seconds.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Thank you to all the people in the third world who are compromising things and committing fraud. Appreciate you.
So you're saying if you're trying to file a motion in federal court, they text you an authenticating
not even
number?
text, not a
No.
text. There's a special app. There's
It's called
either
Google Authenticator.
Google Authenticator or Microsoft
Just to
Authenticator.
file something?
Just to
Just to log in.
Just to log in.
Oh, okay.
Just to log in. You got to open up your app. That's my code. I won't
are all
show
your recent codes, huh?
Yes. And this is for Pacer. For Instagram has one, and for File.
Those look like the kind of codes that change every 12 hours.
and then they
Look,
reset
Austin's got
every
it too.
20 seconds.
You got them too?
I have 2 different ones, yeah.
They reset every 20 seconds, even faster.
Okay.
It's so annoying.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So you have to have your phone on you.
And worse
you
than
can't
that,
be lazy
like,
and just.
it didn't have. It's not like an intuitive sort of way to file, right? It's not like e-file here. It's like drop downs and all this crap, and
Oh,
it's
the
like
title of the motion you wrote doesn't exist, so you have to figure it out again.
And then
Yeah.
the PDF wasn't flat. You know about flat PDFs, flattened PDFs.
Never heard that
I had
in
a
my
Word
life.
document.
Yeah.
I convert
Listen to
Word
this.
to PDF. That's as
what
far
did.
as I know.
Here's a Word document. It was one page. I converted it to a PDF, like save as PDF on the desktop. Here's the thing. Go to put it in, and it wouldn't accept it. So I had to print it, scan it, save it, and then add it.
Oh, and that made it flat.
That makes it flat because there's a lot
Flatten
of
out the PDF.
a lot of metadata, or like there's forms you fill out through PDF. Anyway, and
It's
it's
a
incredibly
freaking-
off topic,
it's-
but it's technology is a blessing and a curse. I'll
It's-
say.
yeah.
Dude, I mean, I love the e-filing and I love all that stuff, but all I did was save as PDF.
Right.
I don't know how to make it any more of a PDF.
Flat must not mean flat then.
Paper's flat, dude. Did you know that?
I did.
Like it's real flat.
I did, but wouldn't it be more
Like,
flat
look,
if it's
check
on a
this out.
computer
Look,
screen?
Look right here. Look right here. Look right here. One whole ass.
That's a piece of
flat
paper
piece of
all over.
paper. Sorry for cursing, Mr. and Mrs.
That's a piece of paper. Yep.
We're gonna be explicit. I made it 6 minutes 56 seconds, but I've done 2 episodes without cussing, so you guys can all shut
You
up.
have. I've been listening lately. I'm honored to be the first non-judge candidate in like a month and a half.
In a long time, like we've had a string of judicial candidates,
And we're gonna have a string of more.
and we have like 4
got-
more at least lined
we
up.
got-
So
DeMonte coming up, Hubert.
Yes.
We're gonna get more. I'm gonna talk to some more people. There's a couple other ones from Justice Court that I've got a decent enough relationship. I feel
Yeah.
like next week I'm gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, got an option for you. We'd love to have you." We'll see. I think John Corey's gonna be on.
Okay.
Isn't he?
Henderson
Potentially.
Justice 4, I think.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a few people. I mean,
Yeah.
and he's a Henderson prosecutor.
Yep.
So I'm gonna do my best.
Dealt with him before.
To
Yeah.
let Shane talk to him.
Saw him last week. Oh yeah, I've been listening. So you're the one that's been stuck going to Muni Court lately.
I
huh?
mostly go to Henderson Muni
likes
just
them.
because
They get along with
Justin's
him.
in the RJC.
You're getting some miles on your car then, don't you?
And-
live up north?
I live up in the Northwest, so I cross. And I,
More importantly, Shane likes them. He knows all of them. They
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I don't mean it like that. But my experience with these people is just them treating me the way that they do, or treating the defendants the way that they do in that court.
But they actually know Shane.
Didn't you go to high school with John?
yeah, I went to high school, John.
And then you were saying some of the other ones, you know their kids.
Went
or
to
whatever.
law school with
Sure.
So,
So there's. I feel like it is a human enterprise, right? It's a human on the other side and a human on this
100%.
side, and a human
Yep.
defendant, a human victim, blah blah blah. But like they don't know me like that, so I'm just a job.
Yeah.
I'm a position
Right.
to them, whose name is Justin.
Right.
Shane is Shane, who happens to have the position, which I think it helps. So it is a little bit of a tactical thing, and I do think you definitely get better results than I do there. They don't like me, but also my face betrays me, right? If in my head I'm thinking, "Fuck you,"
Your face shows it.
my face shows it.
Yeah.
I don't know how to not. It's aside from not turning red and stuff. Like I think you can see my hate veins start to grow when I'm considering ways to,
You got to get better at that.
I do, man. I need to be better at that.
You got to walk in like who's that attorney? He used to work with Draskovich. They didn't work together, but they're in the same building.
oh, the real happy one.
Yeah.
you talked about him before.
He is such a happy camper. I wish I could be like
Hey,
him.
Judge.
Oh, Turco?
Turco, yeah.
Oh my God.
He is such a happy
I don't
camper.
think it's fake.
I don't think it is,
I've
man.
talked to Turco so many times by himself.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of times that he'll drop the curtain and he'll let you into fuck this guy, whatever. But he's always like, oh, you gotta be positive. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, dude.
I didn't know him from Adam. Like a month and a half ago or so, right before I left my last job, I was driving to the courthouse and we parked on the same floor. From the elevator all the way in through security, we were just chopping it up like he had known me for
he's a good guy.
5 years. Yeah,
He's very friendly.
It was great. He's so friendly.
He's very friendly. But the
Probably has no recollection of me
He's-
whatsoever.
He's the exception.
I'm pretty
by and
good
large
with
to
faces
the-
and names, and I had seen him around enough in court that I knew his name, but I didn't know him.
It's also funny to me that he's
it's
got a
pretty cool.
shtick. Like he's so happy he's got his own shtick. Good morning, Your Honor. Like he's got this very, I don't know. It's funny because I kind of oscillate how I feel about it. Like when I first heard it, I was like, whoa, why are you so loud?
you know
8 a.m., bro. Your client's going to jail. What are you doing?
No, it is.
Yeah.
It's legit. That's
Yeah,
just how he
100%
is.
legit.
And so it's like,
Yeah.
you can't hate the authenticity of it. And it is, sometimes it's like I'll walk in there and I'm in like a poo-poo mood or whatever, and he'll do it. And I'm just like, God damn it,
I have to be happy now.
John,
Yeah.
stop it. No
no
one is this
choice.
happy.
Yeah.
Our job sucks. Today sucks. Every day sucks. And then we're going to die. Coincidentally, him and Scott Steinhoff and a couple other guys were talking to me about like getting on blood pressure medication if I need to.
Okay.
Not that I do, but if I
Are
do.
you not on it?
No.
Is your blood pressure high?
No. I've never been diagnosed with high blood pressure.
Then don't do it on it.
So I take it at home sometimes. And like after jujitsu, like I did striking into jujitsu, so 2.5 hours of pretty intense training. And then I went home and I took it just to see. And it was like 126/79.
Perfect.
Right?
Perfect. Yeah.
But then sometimes I'll get done with doing work or whatever and I'll go home and it'll be
130 over 100?
No.
No.
Like 160/105.
Okay. Like
Which-
borderline, I got to go to the doctor.
Dude, when I
Yeah.
Googled it, it said over 150, you're supposed to go to the ER. I was like, I feel fine. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's all
You're
right.
just sweating and short of breath.
No. No, that's the thing. When I Google it, which obviously is not the right thing to do, but it does
Right.
give you some
if
idea.
If you Google it, you're dying always.
No, it gives you
If
some
you
idea.
use AI, then you're good.
It gives you some idea. It told me these are the symptoms of like hypertensive. What's it called when you're in?
Hypertension.
No, not hypertension. Hypertension is the constant. Hypertensive like distress, like when you're having an incident, right? Like something bad's about to happen.
Like a myocardial infraction.
Sure. Farction, I think it's farction.
Whatever.
Anyway, it talks about the things, sweating, this kind of headache, this kind of this. I never have any of those symptoms. The one thing that
You're just a wound up guy.
dude, but even whenever I was younger, like when I was going through boot camp, they would have to take my blood pressure with the manual. Because when they put the machine on it, they're like, what? That's not right. I was 18 years old.
The cuff was reading off the charts.
Yeah, but they do it with their hands and it was fine.
I was at the doctor yesterday and they had like this new wrist cuff. It was kind of cool.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a blood pressure checker for a while because, like, it's always been something I'm not like worried about, but it's like, I'm going to make sure that way if there is a problem, I can go get it diagnosed. The wrist one I found wasn't as accurate. I found one that's actually like it's a cuff and it's a bigger deal. And
Yeah, the cuff with the manual reading is always best, I think. But what they told me is that when they put the wrist cuff on, they said hold it by your heart.
Yep, you got to hold it right there.
I don't know why or how that works. But
And then
Not a
there's
doctor.
like, you want to keep it at that level, I guess. It's got something to do with the way that the pressure works.
Yeah.
But I also found something out when I went and got that scan the other day. They checked my blood pressure, all 4 of my limbs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like at the ankles.
They
at
can
the
be
wrist.
different, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know that. And
That
my
makes
right and my
sense.
left were different. But that's a way to check to see if you've got blockage, right? Because they can.
if the blood's flowing to each
Yeah,
limb,
if the blood's the same.
Right.
And mine was close enough, it wasn't an issue. Right. So.
How do you feel about ankle monitors being on wrists? How would you feel about an
my
ankle
God.
monitor being on a wrist?
Okay. So there's.
I read there was like a news story or a news article I read a couple
I was
weeks
in
ago
court
about
this
that.
morning.
Yeah.
for it,
Is
and I
that a
was
new
just
thing
like,
that's going to
This
start?
defendant's mom came into our office. She ran into me in the courthouse, wanted me to try to do something for her son. How many
196
trespassing charges?
trespassing cases in casinos. A specific guy, we won't put his name out
Yeah,
there,
no,
he'll
no,
be
for
on the
sure.
news, but he is accused of 196 separate trespassing, and it's a guy you cannot miss. Like,
Are there even that many casinos in
He's a
there?
triple amputee.
Okay.
And supposedly, from hearing his counsel talk and then speaking to him a little bit in court when I did, the amputations occurred because of some medical issue that happened when he was in North Las Vegas Muni custody or some
I
municipal
don't
court
know about
custody.
that.
Okay.
That's what I remember.
Wow.
Is that like
Okay.
this whole thing started? But yeah, he's missing both legs and one arm, and I want to say it's both legs above the knee, right? So it's
I couldn't tell. He was wearing
he's wearing the
pants and
thing,
he's got
and then
prosthetics,
he's got
so I can't
prosthetics, and
tell.
it looks like it goes over the knee.
Okay, I
but
see
anyway,
where you're
it's pretty close to the knee.
So he had a case. He's on monitoring. And the
He's
only
on-
option they
he's
had
on
was-
monitoring.
but he has
just-
like 20 cases that are active. If
Oh.
you looked his name up, he's got 20 right now.
Oh yeah, a ton. So he got released, and Metro, who's in charge of
Right.
all of this,
Yeah.
puts the ankle monitor on his wrist, and that's was the subject of today's hearing. Is he's upset? He's saying that it's bruising up and causing issues.
But that was the whole argument last time is they wouldn't release him because he didn't have ankles to put the ankle monitor on. They released him on monitoring
Put it on his wrist.
No, but before they wouldn't do it.
That's tough though, because like with the ankle monitor, it doesn't have to be that tight because it's just hard to get around the ankle joint, right? The bottom of the foot if someone was going to try to take it off. But with it's a lot easier with the hand. So they probably have to put it on tighter. So I can see why he might be complaining of, you know?
But the difference with the ankle is you can wear a long sock. And so you create some space between that. I mean, I guess you just have to wear like a compression sleeve or something.
I guess, yeah. But what I was referring to is I thought I had read like a month or so ago an article about this new company that was potentially going to be having GPS monitoring devices that were like kind of like wristwatch looking things. Could have been a dream. I don't know.
Oh.
I mean, but that would be a pretty cool idea. If anyone's listening and that's not a thing yet, that's a good business idea.
I'm sure these companies make a lot of money off of,
I mean, they've already got those kinds of things in those fancy
because you know
watches.
the negative connotation when someone's rocking around with an ankle monitor, you're always thinking, you know, what's this guy up to? But if it just looks like a bulky G-Shock, you know,
sure. Or like Steve Altig, I sat with him in the coffee shop the other day, the one in the RJC, and he had what looked like 2 iWatches. And I was like, why do you have 2 watches on? You know the Nielsen whatever, the TV rating things?
Yeah.
One of them is a watch from them that he wears, and what it does is it picks up any broadcast, and this is a crazy thing, I did not know this. Apparently every broadcast, whether it be a song, a podcast, a TV show, a movie, it has some kind of embedded sound in it, like a frequency we don't hear, that watch picks up, and it'll tell them what he's listening to, where he's listening to it, when he's listening to it, what broadcast is coming from. And it's for, you know, the Nielsen thing where you
the ratings.
Ratings, where you could mark what you did on your TV.
Right. Super Bowl had this many viewers.
Sure.
They don't actually know.
No, they don't know. Yeah. People self-report.
Right.
This thing picks up everything, and it tells him everything he's hearing. First off,
what's the point?
It's just to check. They pay you, but it's just to check to see what people are listening to. It's for ratings, for popularity, for stuff like that.
But as a criminal defense attorney, I don't want
that either.
I wouldn't want something always recording.
But also, but even if it's just picking up that frequency, how weird is it that every single broadcast has its own special little thumbprint frequency
that we can't
hear?
Yeah.
That gets into like
that. You know what that reminds me of?
I go down a rabbit hole. I'm like, oh,
1984.
That reminds me of Jim Carrey's Riddler Batman movie.
Yeah. We're trying to like control our thoughts.
Yeah, everyone's gonna watch that one program, and it had then
all of a sudden
had that sound frequency, and everyone got
the brown noise
immediately.
The brown noise, and everyone just shits themselves.
Have you watched Pluribus, the TV show?
I have not.
Okay,
not yet.
There's some tie-ins there too.
E pluribus unum.
Something.
I have not.
That's where it comes.
That's
from.
on dollar bills.
But
I've been recently watching I started watching it last weekend. The dinosaur Netflix documentary. I was in LA last weekend with my nephews, and he's like 3.
Oh,
he's big on dinosaurs right now, and so
Sick.
that Netflix documentary came out. So that's what I was watching. Yeah.
I haven't watched that yet.
We're at Cars and Wally still.
Cars and Wally. Okay.
Although
Those are 2 good movies.
fire trucks and garbage trucks are very popular.
They're coming up.
Oh, dude, he'll come in. Watch garbage trucks.
My nephew likes to watch
he'll
monster
sit on the
trucks on
couch.
YouTube. He'll just watch compilation videos of monster trucks on YouTube.
Dude, there's hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of
It's
hours.
called Thrash and Trash.
Yeah.
And what it is it
His
opens
favorite
up,
is the Megalodon right now.
Okay. It opens up with like a power chord riff, and then it's just garbage trucks. Somebody
Just
will be sitting
driving?
there- No, they drive up, they pull up next to it. It's either the one where they've got all kinds of different ones, right? Little ones, big ones, where it'll grab it and it'll dump it and put it back and drive off. And then someone else is filming, and they've got the funny thing. I think I was talking to Steve about this. These people probably make more money than we do, and all they do is they put together
Oh
compilations.
yeah, because they're getting millions of clicks from 2-year-olds' moms.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or it's like that kid, the kid that did a toy review on YouTube. Yeah,
Yep.
and he's now making $10 million a year.
Yep.
Also like 18 now.
Okay, well, good for him. He doesn't ever have to really have a job
Ever again.
all because his parents were like, "Hey, this kid's cute, and he
kid's
talks
cute,
a lot
and he-
for a 5-year-old.
yeah.
Let's see what he thinks of this toy."
Yeah.
and then I don't know, but like that's great. That kid at least did something for it. He gave his little quirky, weird stuff. This dude just filmed or took videos or filmed them himself because it's all different states.
Of just garbage men doing their jobs.
Clark County, Washington.
Yeah.
And it'll be the Clark County, and then it'll be all these garbage or recycling, and then they do the same thing with fire trucks. You've got L.A., Chicago, New York. You can just watch all these.
I'm hearing jealousy is what I'm hearing.
Dude, it's interesting, and I like that my kid loves it, and he's starting to get to the phase where he'll watch it for like 20 minutes, and he'll be like, "Let's watch Cars." Thank God, because it's literally just you'll see the doors of the fire station open.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least
And as soon as it's out of the frame, go to another one.
Yeah.
Same thing over and over and over. 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, my nephew doesn't have that kind of attention span.
No,
but if my sister got sick
I
of it,
won't let him watch it that long.
yeah, if
but
my
that's
sister
how long
got
the
sick
video
of it,
goes.
then she would say, "No, they're sleeping right now." And he's like, "Okay, let's do something else."
At least the Monster Jam drivers have
Yeah.
skills. Like you,
Yeah, Bobby doesn't fall for that shit.
when he's a little older, Monster Jam comes like twice a year
Yeah.
to Vegas, and those are super fun. My kids
I
love
used to go
that.
all the time when I was a kid.
And those drivers are
Yeah.
skilled. Like the tricks they do
Doing
and like
weird
I saw
being
one
able to get
go
up.
up on a ramp on just his front two wheels when I was watching these
And
videos.
then they just,
I
like,
myself
stick
was kind of
there.
into it when I was watching.
It's way cool. It's way cool. So
Another
Put
one
that
he
on the
really
list.
likes. So there's a book, and I've explained this to you, and it's called "Where Do Diggers Go When They Sleep at Night?" And it's about backhoes, garbage trucks, dump trucks, all these things, tractors. It's like, where do garbage trucks go when they're done dumping their stinky loads? Do they blah blah blah? Does the dad ask the son? PU, whatever. And it shows little baby trucks going to like a bunker to sleep. Well, on YouTube, if you type in digger, there's a show. It's literally about construction equipment. Like these gigantic dump trucks, which it's kind of cool to watch because some of these things are monstrous. Like I've been
Yeah,
around.
the wheels are like 15 feet tall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you stand next to it and you look like a flea.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's called Bobby something digger
Oh, so he must love it then.
because there's a little blue front end loader that is a cartoon that comes in and talks about what they're going to watch, and then he just scoots off, and his name's Bobby. So he loves that one.
He thinks it's him.
I don't think so.
No?
He goes, watch Bobby Digger.
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
I really hope you don't say this in front of other people.
Yeah.
Because
It's like that rehab addict girl.
dude, but it sucks because like he speaks pretty clear most of the time. There's a few things he says where it's like garbled little kid speak.
Yeah.
But man, the wrong person. If we're out, because we went to the park the other
Well, yeah,
day.
but
and
your son's black.
He's also white, bro.
Okay.
FYI.
Okay.
He's mixed.
Okay.
Anyway,
AKA.
I don't know if you can tell, Justin.
yeah.
Justin's,
I'm only 4%, dude, so I don't count. Per 23andMe, dude, I didn't make this shit up. I'm not saying it qualifies me for anything. I'm just saying that's what they said.
Oh
Anyway,
my God.
sub-Saharan African. Apparently, we're all
That's where we all came from.
That's what they say.
Well, I guess not all. Like a lot of the Southeast Asian areas, they were like the Denisovians and like the other subshoots
yeah.
of the
Sure.
early hominid species. Yeah.
Well, the weird thing to me about that is like, if you got this idea that you've got all these different developments and some of them are congruent with development in other areas of the country where Pangea broke off into what it is now.
Yeah. Which
Why-
you learned about in that dinosaur show.
Why is it not? Why is it not
Another
conceivable that you have the same kind of development, except for places like Australia,
Australia,
which is its own
yeah.
weirdness, whatever.
Totally
But
different,
skip
yeah.
that. But let's
Yeah.
just talk about general development through whatever it is, either,
what?
like
Don't miss-
divine creation,
Oh,
or
I thought you were
if it's
saying
evolution,
my
whatever.
race.
No. That's what I'm not talking about the what or the why. I'm talking about the what, right? How could it not be conceivable that you have development in different places? Exactly the same. Not that we're different. We're all the same. It's just the same things we're developing in different places, which is why you have different genetic features now.
Right.
Right. If you lived in a place that was always wet and windy,
It's how they adapted over time.
correct.
Yeah.
Right. Like the thing about the Southeast Asian area, apparently it's a very windy place, which explains some of the development with like facial features to protect the eyes from winds and things
Yeah.
like that. Okay, cool.
Yeah, there's this tribe somewhere in Southeast Asia that has a lung capacity that far exceeds the average human capacity because they adapted over time and evolved over time for undersea fishing, so they can hold their breath for like 20 minutes at a time while
Bro.
they're swimming around with spears fishing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
There's regular people, free divers. I didn't know this until recently. Like it's, obviously these are top tier people anyway, but like a normal person can do this, can hold their breath 10, 15 minutes, 10, 12 minutes. Like what? The longest I've ever been able to
I
go
think
is
a
like,
minute and a half maybe for me.
yeah, like 90 seconds maybe.
Yeah.
When you're a kid and you're really trying, right? Like 10 minutes, not just 10 minutes holding your breath, but 10 minutes holding your breath and doing things.
something. Yeah.
Swimming.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. I think I remember hearing about that too, and it
Might have been like an Earth documentary or something.
that one, Earth 1, 2, so good.
Yeah.
I don't really like the David Attenborough jabs about like whatever he
Certain
feels.
things here and there.
Yeah, I don't care about the politics.
Just tell me
of it.
about the monkey.
Yeah, exactly. Please, dude. My favorites are the. I'm gonna pull it up. It's in Japan, I think. It's these monkeys that they live high in the mountains, and they live next to these hot springs. Monkey hot spring, and they will literally they'll be sitting there. Yeah, these guys sitting there in the snow, but just chilling in a hot spring because it's so warm.
Yeah.
And the snow's falling on them, and there's like icicles on their little beards. I'm just like, these guys have got it figured out. He's just chilling in a hot tub with all his homies. Like, how cool is that?
That's the life, yeah.
I don't know, man. I saw that on that Earth documentary. I love that show. It's so good.
Or like the Sherpas in Everest. they've got incredible lung capacities too,
Dude,
because they've been breathing 50% less oxygen than
Yeah.
us for hundreds of thousands of years.
I have a buddy who went and he did base camp, the hike to base camp.
I wanna do that
And he
one
said
day.
that his guy was sitting there like chain smoking Marlboro
Really?
Reds, just running
They're
circles,
huffing, yeah.
just running circles around him. And these dudes trained for like 6 months to get ready,
Yeah.
and they're like,
And they're almost
so-
dead still.
No, Seth did a good job, he said, but he was tired. But Seth is a trainer. That's what he does. He's an athletic trainer. So he's very, very fit. He's really strong. And this dude was just skinny little Sherpa, probably didn't eat that much, chain smoking cigarettes, just, do you need me to carry it? Let me help you.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, man.
We'll live to be 100.
Yeah, and he'll be 105.
Yeah, probably.
It always, like when I hear things like that, I'm just like, man.
So the Everest hike to base camp, that's like you fly into Kathmandu, and then it's like a 7-day hike or something.
Something like
isn't
that,
it?
yeah. And you're going above like, I think 15,000 feet.
Yeah, I think base camp's at like 12.
I don't
Between
know.
12 and 15.
It's up there.
Yeah.
It's over 10, I know that.
Yeah.
And isn't Everest itself like
26?
Yeah.
25, 26.
Don't ask me.
The best part about Everest, it's creepy. If you die up there.
You're stuck.
Yep.
Yep.
And what's that saying? Even Everest is covered with the corpses of very motivated people or something like that. It's like a demotivational
So
quote.
you know how far you get is with what bodies you're seeing.
Say again?
There's some bodies. That
Oh yeah, like you know where you are on the climb based upon like there's Blue Jacket. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a while.
That's
there was
wild.
this Instagram influencer I followed. His name's Devin Levesque,
Okay.
and he's got like this like a health company that I buy like supplements and stuff from sometimes online. And-
HGH and
no, like pre-workout and
Test Cyprinate
electrolytes.
250.
Do I look
okay.
like I take HGH?
I don't know, man. You're wearing that big puffy
I know,
sweater to
I'm
hide.
hiding- I'm
to hide-
hiding my
to hide
muscles
your
and
eight
Got
pack.
that pump
yeah.
cover going on.
and like 2 or 3 years ago, he went to Everest, and he successfully climbed it with a guide and everything. But it got me down this rabbit hole, and I was following like 10 Nepal or Everest climbing Instagram pages for a while, and there were some crazy videos that you end up watching. I had to not follow them anymore. Like there would be videos of people like, oh wow, look at this great view. They would pan to the right, and then a guy would like lose track of his rope and just like slide off the cliff. And like that's a person that happened. And now it's on Instagram forever.
So I don't know how it was for you when you were a kid, but do you remember like Rotten or Ogrish or any of those websites where it was like,
There was another one that was worse.
yeah, Live Leak,
Best gore.
Best Gore, yeah.
That was so bad. Best gore.
The gore stuff, until you get to a point where you've had enough or you've experienced it. When you're a kid, you're curious, right? So you're watching videos of people fighting, getting stabbed, car wrecks, whatever.
Yeah.
The one that always made me give the heebie like ugh, is people falling.
Yeah.
Because like we've all climbed something. When you're a kid, you climb a tree.
Yeah.
I've fallen out of a couple trees. I fell when I was in college one time. Ended up snapping some stuff at my ankle. Like I fell like 30 feet. I got really lucky the way I landed. But like as a little kid, I remember falling a couple times and being scared of it, and then seeing people fall. It's just something about it.
That
Like,
could have been me. Or
dude,
yeah.
maybe. But it like not that I like it. I want to be very clear, and I don't. seek this
I
stuff
never
out.
liked it either. It's just it's
Well, you're
the
curious,
adolescent fascination. Yeah.
But like seeing people get shot does nothing to me. But seeing someone fall, I'm like, ooh, I gotta look
Yeah.
away from it. Yeah. So that's creepy, man. I don't like that.
Yeah, the Best Gore website was taken down like a decade ago because the guy that ran it, like if you were to like type in the website right now, there's only a homepage that exists, and there's a little message by the former owner and operator of the URL, and he says this was not a good thing for society.
Good.
So
That's great.
I took this down.
No longer active, and it has a little drawing.
Yeah.
Of like a heart. And
Okay, so there used to be an actual web page, like it would still take you to like the homepage.
that's what I typed in
Okay.
bestcore.com. That's what comes up. It's just a little
Okay.
landing page.
Yeah.
It says, no longer active.
So the URL must not be active anymore either. But for a while, the
But
URL was still active.
honestly,
yeah.
dude, it doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
can get on YouTube and like, do you remember when Syria was popping off in 2014? You could type in SyriaTube, and it was literally just home videos, basically, of the guys from the FSA, the Free Syrian Army, that were engaging with Bashar al-Assad's forces.
The Syrian attack. Yeah,
Dude.
Yeah.
And it'd be like,
Sarin
oh,
gas, yeah.
sniper versus machine gunner. And it'd be a guy who's popping off and he keeps poking his head up in the same spot. And then at one point, whack.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what? And you know that like there's no like permissions or whatever. So until it gets flagged by somebody, anybody can see it. I don't know, man.
There's gnarly like Ukraine, Russia ones too.
Yeah.
Bro,
Like
you don't
because
even need to get on
drones
there.
have
Dude,
have like body worn camera
drone
type.
war.
Yeah.
There's a page on Instagram I was following before I got off of it that was literally just all the FPV stuff which is a first-person view.
Yeah.
But it's
first-person view of the drone or of the soldier.
No, of the
drone.
drone.
Of the
And
drone.
FPV's drone also stands for something else, and it's the drone that has an explosive on it.
Right. So it's a
kamikaze
It just
drone.
runs into the soldier and it blows up. Yeah.
But it has that view, and then usually what they'd have is the first-person view of the drone, and then they have a third-person view of this drone watching
everything.
bro, or drop like the one that I was like, I'm done. Was they?
Phosphorus,
Yes,
yeah.
bro. Shows them dropping phosphorus on that trench.
I know.
Those poor sons of bitches.
I know.
That was last year, dude. That wasn't 1918.
Yeah.
Like we have modern medicine, we have planes that'll get you around the world, like, and we're still dropping fire on people.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, and they're people. They lost an entire generation of men. We would all be dead.
Yeah.
Or we would have had to run away, right? Like in Russia and the Ukraine. And I'm not talking about who did what, we could get into that. But
Yeah.
like the fact of the matter is there's a bunch of dudes who are just gone.
Yeah.
Like an entire generation
It's
of
a
men.
lost generation almost all over again. For
I mean,
those two
essentially, but
countries.
it's just two countries. It's crazy, dude.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks like we're making Shane uncomfortable. We should move on.
No, it's sad. All this stuff is sad. And
So we're weirdos. We grew up in the 90s and early 2000s.
We did indeed.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So you grew up in Vegas.
I did.
Where'd you go to high
raised.
school?
Coronado. Graduated in 2010. It's in Henderson.
Is that the one where they don't get to the?
No, that's chaparral.
Okay.
Coronado's really nice. That's where my
Coronado was always called like the Gorman of public schools here.
Okay.
At least when I went there.
it opened when I started.
Yeah, 04
School.
ish. I think is when Coronado
01.
opened. 01. Okay. I graduated in 10 from Coronado.
Okay. And so your dad,
Yep.
he's a lawyer as well.
Yep.
What was he doing when you were in high school?
He was a partner at a big firm here called Kemp Jones. At the time, it was called Kemp Jones and Coulthard. His specialty was complex construction and business litigation.
So like construction defect stuff?
Construction defect stuff.
Did
yeah.
he defend it or plaintiff?
It depended on the case. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He worked on some pretty big litigation here. The Harmon Tower that was built and then taken down. He was involved in that construction. Well, yeah, it might have been before you got
Before
here.
me,
You
yeah.
might remember.
Yeah,
it, Shane.
yeah, yeah,
There was a
of course.
Harmon Tower near like the city center with the Cosmo, Aria, and the Vidara. And there was this Harmon Tower that was built. And I remember my dad coming home in the middle of that litigation. He would, like on our kitchen island, just roll open the blueprints and just like talk to me about it. And it sounded like Chinese to me. I had no idea what he was talking about. But
Was he actually speaking Chinese?
No, he wasn't. No. At the time, little did I know,
funny.
he was speaking legalese.
Sounds
but-
like Chinese. Well, it's because it was, Nick.
No. He would roll out the blueprints, and I knew nothing about it.
Sure.
I knew my dad was a lawyer, but I wasn't really, I was like 10 or 12 at the time maybe, so I never really thought about what I wanted to be yet. But it was just cool seeing him be so interested in something that
Sure.
I wanted to find something that I was that interested in. But it was cool also to see blueprints like that.
Yeah, I imagine that'd be pretty neat
Yeah.
to see the real
Anybody
ones.
that he could lend, would lend their ear to him, he would talk their ear off about it forever. Yeah, he's the smartest man I know. He's so brilliant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
When did he become a judge?
He ran in 2014.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he'd been practicing. He
not
was
like
a lawyer.
that long ago, really.
No, he did one term. 2015 to 2021. He lost the 2020 reelection. But he was a lawyer in California for like 5 years or so before they moved here, right before I was born.
Okay.
And then he was a lawyer here ever since 92.
Okay.
So he'd been a lawyer for like, what is that, 92 to 14, 22 years?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus
22
5.
years plus 5
So 27.
when he ran. Yeah.
That's a long time.
And what department was he?
He was in Department 2.
That's a split docket.
It was for him. So you know how it works with the chief judge splitting things up. At first, he was just all civil, and then he was all. Then he was a split docket for a while. He had half criminal, half civil, and then around 2019 or so, right before the election started to ramp up, he moved to the business and the construction defect team or
Okay.
docket.
Yeah. Was it weird? Because at that time, were you in law school?
I was gone for most of the time he was a judge, unfortunately. Yeah, I wish I could have been here more. Whenever I came back for break or something, I'd always go sit in his chambers and talk to his JEA was my dad's secretary for 20 years at that firm.
Okay.
So they were, they're tight. She's now Judge Eller's JEA. And her husband is Hardy's recorder.
Nice.
So my dad's known them for dozens of years, and I would go watch his court dockets, mostly the criminal ones, because by then I knew what I wanted to do.
Sure.
But yeah, when he won election in 2014, I was an undergrad. I was finishing up my last year, and I rolled right into law school. I came back to Vegas after law school. When was that? Like summer 2019.
Okay.
So right before the election geared up, and so I didn't really get to actually live here back again after school.
But was it weird
with
just
much
being
time as him
like,
as a judge?
I don't know, because like when I think about stuff, like he talks about his dad being in the Air Force, and then my dad was a rancher. These are normal jobs, right?
Yeah.
Like a judge is like a special position, especially an elected thing. Was that like kind of weird? Like,
No, not really. No, my dad was always into public service. Yeah, when he was a partner at the law firm, he for a time he was the chair of the Clark County Republican Party. I'm not a Republican, but I love that my dad cared enough about civics to want to get involved.
Sure.
And the local Clark County membership, they elected him. He was a 2-time Board of Governors member on the state bar.
Okay.
And eventually he ran for judge. But he wasn't actually around a lot when I was a kid. He worked hard to put food on the table for us.
That's the thing that sucks
Yeah.
about this sometimes. Like last night I was working on these ops to this motion to dismiss, and like I wanted to get home, or I wanted to get, to see my kid, to put him to bed. I have a routine that I help with, and so then I just FaceTimed him.
Yeah.
It's like, man,
It's not the
but
same.
we have FaceTime, which is
Right.
good.
We didn't back
But
then.
at the same, it does kind of suck.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't anticipate it was going to go this way, but no more evening for me.
It seemed,
and
it seemed
sucks.
normal. I had a much closer relationship with my mom growing up because, after my dad made partner, she was a stay-at-home mom essentially.
Sure.
Later on in high school, she got like a busybody job at a Pottery Barn when it opened at the district. But
fun, though.
Yeah, it was cool. We have a lot of Pottery Barn stuff. they gave Pottery Barn, West Elm.
Don't they have, like,
Williams
kinda cool
Sonoma.
stuff there?
Yeah, they had really cool stuff. Yeah.
They had the
Yeah.
high end nice
they had,
stuff.
They had a good.
Yeah.
They had a really good employee discount. It was like something like 40%.
That's good.
But he was working late. He worked hard, made a lot of money. It made a very comfortable life for me growing up. But I didn't get to see him that much. He wasn't always at my sporting events. He couldn't always go to family things because he had to work late, or he was in a long trial and things like that. But what I was really grateful for was after I left my first legal job, when I first came back to Vegas, my dad had just lost re-election. And he was thinking about what his next steps were going to be. And for about a year or so, he was working with a personal injury attorney here, Preston Rizet. Great guy, love him to death.
Never heard of him.
He helped give my dad a soft landing, and they did well together. But my dad wasn't really a PI guy. He understood it as a judge from the bench, but working it up, litigating, understanding the medical things,
Different.
totally different ballpark, right? And so he wanted to move back into private practice, but he was scared to do it alone because, even when he was a partner of a large firm with dozens of lawyers and a partnership team of 10 or so,
And resources and
and
processes.
resources and processes. Yeah,
Filing your own,
filing your own federal court briefs in Kansas. Yeah, and so he
And
asked me.
feeling like an idiot because
Yeah.
you can't make the computer do what it needs to compute.
And so he asked me if I wanted to, open up a firm with him.
That's cool.
And yeah, I did. And it was the best 2.5 years of my life yet. And not only did
I love that you said that's good.
Not only did we get the chance to, work together, which is a pretty rare thing here in town. I know there are a lot of father-son duos here, but you can probably count them on, one hand, maybe a couple on the second, like in the history of Vegas, whether it's civil or criminal or whatever. But we made up for a lot of lost time too that I didn't get to see him when I was a kid. And our relationship's stronger than ever. So
You still like each other.
100%. Yeah. I mean, look, I'll tell you, the first 6 months we opened the firm, there were some times where we would just be in our offices next to each other and we wouldn't talk for maybe a day or two because we were still figuring out not only is this going to work, but how is it going to work? And once we got over that hurdle and, we were making enough to, pay ourselves what the market rate would be. And we started bringing on some assistants and things like that. And the last 2 years of our time together were just such a blessing.
Yeah, even Shane and I, there are times like earlier, I could tell that he's very calm about the computer stuff and it pisses me off. He's over here just in his head, he's like, why are you so fucking mad? I can tell that's what he's thinking. And I'm ready to break my computer.
Yeah.
So there's always that, with this job, each person has their button. So I could imagine me and my dad, bro.
Wouldn't have worked?
No, I don't know. No, we get along really great. But then there are times where it's just friction.
Yeah.
And with when you add the legal friction,
Yeah.
man. Because you should see us trying to move cows. He's got his way of doing things and I've got my way. And so sometimes he'll get mad at me or I'll get mad at him. Grab the fucking, whatever, you didn't get it and something gets out or whatever and you got to start all over again. So with this, it would be, I think, worse.
See, I think different people have different relationships depending on what it is because, I love my wife more than anything, but we both know and have said she could never work with me ever. It would not work between us. Professionally, me telling her what to do, in
you
getting
mean?
frustrated.
You mean outside the house?
Here in my office.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
She wouldn't like that because she runs my house. She runs my life at the house. Anyway.
Okay.
I'm not the boss. I'm be the first to admit I'm not the boss.
I
But
will say this though, like 14 to 25-year-old me, it probably never would have worked. But in my mid to late 20s, a lot of things happened in my life, personally, professionally, medically, that caused me to calm down quite a bit. And I think I'm a pretty chill guy now. I think I get along with
You've always
everybody.
been chill to my
Well,
knowledge.
you've met me after
met him later,
You met me
you said,
later.
yeah.
You met me later, and so like
I met you in
the old-
2019.
Okay, so you met me while I was going through it.
I met you at Scrub.
Yeah, you met me while I was going through it. Yeah.
And you always seemed really nice. You were chill. I mean, you were stressed out, but like,
Yeah.
you were chill.
some people,
I think I'm a lot chiller. than
First
I think
off, let's
than too.
compare.
Yeah.
To me, you seemed chill. I am very
Even
much.
me back then seemed chill. Yeah.
I am very much unchill.
Yes. Okay.
So like maybe that's my perspective. Maybe if Shane had met you or if Austin had met you, they'd be like, "Wow, what's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah.
Because that's what everybody says when they meet me now. Like,
Yeah.
What's wrong with him? Why is he so mad? Oh, that Justin.
I can't file this document. What's going on?
My dad's that guy though.
computers.
My dad's the kind of guy that will call customer service and yell at them because his computer won't click. And I'm the kind of guy that will just sit there.
I do not.
I'll
I
sit there
just-
calmly
no,
and try to figure it
I
out.
scream at inanimate objects. I don't scream at people. There's a difference.
you'll have to. Justin wants to go in person. It won't be a phone call. He
Oh,
needs
in
face to
person.
face. Yeah. He needs face to face. It's not working. I need to go to the Apple store. It's like the Apple has nothing to do with this. What are you talking about?
I do not
bro?
suggest that, but I am an in-person guy. Like things with justice court or like in school, whenever I was having difficulties with like getting stuff through the financial aid office, getting documents, I just go down there.
Yeah.
But I had two schools that I shouldn't have had in-state tuition at, but because I went down and bitched,
You got it?
and I was like blah 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 blah, and they're like, okay, let me ask you some questions. When did you move? I moved here this day. That's before school started. Did you move because of work? And I said, yep, I moved because I got a job. In-state tuition, stupid stuff like that. Because I'd be pissed
Right,
off.
but if you live in Syracuse because you're a student, you're not in state.
yeah, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just simple things like that, and it always helped to be able to put a face to the voice.
No, it's certainly helpful. Yeah, but if you're dealing with
Especially if a person is controlling whether the button gets clicked left or right.
Right.
With this, it's technology stuff. They just look at me like I was stupid, I'm sure. Which is true. I am stupid.
no, you're not. You're not stupid.
I am.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
We're all stupid.
I
in our
saw
own
what car
way.
you're driving outside. You're not stupid.
I mean, that car is awesome, but that doesn't. I've seen dumb people driving really cool stuff. Like, come on, man.
Smart enough in business. How about that?
Lucky enough.
Lucky enough. Also, that car, I bought it used. I mean, it is nice. Don't get me wrong. It still has a new car smell. 2 owners. I bought it off
How many miles were on it when you got it?
5,800.
Wow. What year?
2022.
It's just broken in.
Barely.
Barely.
Yeah.
It's the old guy Corvette.
It's the old guy Corvette that
Yeah.
probably only drove it on the weekends. And the tires that are on it right now are still the tires that were manufactured in 2021.
Well, yeah, tires can last I guess maybe not for your car. But
Not if you're roasting them off the way that
yeah,
I
if you're
do.
roasting them, but if you're just driving on the roads, 50,000, right? Usually.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, they only have like a 5 to 6 year life anyway. Like,
Yeah. And it's shorter here because of the heat.
yeah, it starts
Yeah.
to separate.
Yeah.
So mine, they're coming up on their time. So I've just been driving like an asshole. Like if I go around the corner, we're chirping them.
Do you have another? Do you still have? You had a
I have the
pickup for
truck.
a while. You
Yeah,
do.
I have
Okay.
the truck. Yep.
The firm has the
Yeah,
truck
sorry,
anyway.
Shane is a half owner
You
of the
sold
truck.
it to the firm. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, and it's got logos on it now too.
Which is not awesome because when I drive it around, sometimes you know how I drive.
Oh, it's got your firm's logos like
It
on the
does,
door
yeah.
panels. Okay.
Yeah, it says Cox and Wilson. It's got the address, or not the address, the phone number,
number and stuff,
then
yeah.
the website, I think, and our little logo or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I do really like that. It's because I like it because it's like a brand. The CW.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's
Hey, who
fun.
designed that? That's really neat.
Somebody in Bangladesh.
Okay.
There's a website.
I'm
Good for them.
I'm
Yeah.
being sarcastic, but
Yeah.
dude, we paid $50 for that.
It's
You
what's
put in
it
for bids.
called? Yeah, well, you put in for bids. I don't remember. It's not Fiverr. It's not Fiverr. There's a separate one. No, it's like
But it's a bunch of graphic
what was it
designers.
last? Maybe. So you can submit like potential jobs and request like submissions, and we'll say we'll give the winner. I think we put $150.
Okay.
So
Bro, we had 100,000 of them. There were so many.
700 different submissions. So we were going through them, and we got tired of
Now, were
going
the
through
submissions like all different logos they had to
Yes.
sift through?
It was
Yes.
each one was a person or a company or
I'll
whatever.
sell you this logo for this much money, and you had 100 of those.
It was we have to like we put in our credit card and commit to paying whatever it is.
Okay, so your card's
to
on
the
file,
winner.
kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're going to get it. It's through the third party, so
Yeah.
you know the Bangladeshi people can't steal from you. Not that they would, but you never know because you don't know who you're dealing with. Maybe
Yeah.
it's a fraudster, maybe it's not. and they submit the logo, and it's got the watermark on it, so you can't steal it at that point.
Right.
And it's just it's a bargain for exchange. You have a service, and I'm buying it, but I'm soliciting that business by saying, hey, I need a logo.
I'm putting the money in trust for the
basically.
amount of
Essentially,
whoever wins the bid.
And there were like several good ones.
There were a lot of good. It was a tough decision, actually.
Dude.
I think it was like freelancer.com. Is that a thing?
I don't know.
Whatever,
but it was
seems
such a
Austin's
neat thing. And like,
realm.
so we always shit on the internet, but like that's a really neat element. Because these people probably in their country, because I remember it was from somewhere like that, wasn't it?
It was
Southeast Asia.
Everybody was basically out of somewhere in Southeast Asia.
And I think the one that did ours was actually Bengali, Bangladeshi or whatever how you say it. So like $150 to them,
Was
I
a
don't
lot.
know, but I assume is a lot of money.
The wild part was too, even back then, 2 years ago when we did this, there were some that would message us and be like, hey, submission number 475, theirs is AI generated. Like, don't go with theirs, because we could vote them and say like 4 stars, 5 stars, because there were so many, we were trying to sort them out and review them. So then even some of the designers would message us and like try and push themselves up and like, don't go with that one.
And
that
they're crap talking their competition and stuff.
That guy only has 3
His wife slept with my sister.
What'd you
What'd you say?
That guy only has 3 goats. I have more.
We have 10 goats on our farm. Pick us.
It was crazy. Like,
So that is
it was weird.
a really cool element of the
that's
internet.
neat.
And I think it's great. Like I like that. Like, this guy, whoever it was, I'm very grateful to them, and I hope that, that money was enough for their time.
And so now you just own that logo?
Yep, it's our logo. I mean, we never trademarked it.
Yeah, we haven't trademarked.
Don't you be stealing, folks.
But like you have the original, so
Correct.
you can put it on
Yep.
T-shirts and things
Yeah.
like that if you wanted to.
Yep, we have it on T-shirts. We have one. If you want one, we'll give you one.
Yeah,
before
we've
you leave.
kind of expanded the design. I had somebody else take that and put, like a circle logo too with
Yeah.
Cox and Wilson Law Firm around it. So we've kind of, we're trying to establish our brand.
But how-
as you know, is a tough thing to do.
It's a very
How
tough thing.
wild is it that like, because I don't know how you feel about where you are in your career or whatever, where you've been, like when you open your own firm, like when you see your name on something, it's just like, man, I'm just like an idiot, and that's my name.
Yeah.
And there's a whole ass logo, and there's a sign out in front of
So
a business.
that's
like,
funny. I didn't even see it as my name. I saw it as my dad's name. When we got our logo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it just
Scotty Law.
Scotty?
Law, yeah.
Scotty
It wasn't
Law.
Scotty
Well,
and Scotty.
No, so our firm name was called Scotti Law Firm PLLC.
Okay.
But our DBA was Scotti Law. And I could probably find a logo on my phone. But yeah, it was Scotti Law with the gavel. It was red, white, and blue. My dad loves that. But yeah, I didn't see it as my name. So I didn't get that feeling.
That sucks, man.
Yeah. Well,
Because it was.
yeah, it was.
Is your name.
It is my name, but
He bestowed it upon you for its use.
it is, but it's still my dad's time.
I mean, kind of, but it's your time together, right? Like,
Yeah. But I meant when we were opening the firm.
I get it. You're given the deference.
I'd
I
only been a
understand.
lawyer for, what, a year and a half when we opened the firm together? So I was definitely deferential to him.
How did that feel being that young in your career and opening? Was it?
It was scary.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was so scary. Yeah, I agonized over it, man.
Man, I'm an idiot because I wasn't scared enough.
Really?
I was just like, fuck it, let's go.
I think you have to be scared.
I wasn't,
Yeah.
but I'm stupid, as I said. Shane was scared.
well,
Shane still is scared sometimes.
I'll reveal something. Me and Justin had talked about opening the law firm for a while, and then
You guys worked together for
we
a
didn't.
time,
We
right?
worked
Yeah.
together before. We didn't talk about when, and then Justin just one day called me and said, "All right, I started. We're out. Like I
Right, 'cause
quit
you were
my
solo
job
for a while. Yeah.
And I said, "Oh,
I'm not ready yet.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was going to be today, or even this month, or even close to now." Okay.
Surprise!
Okay. Can you give me a little bit to figure out my life? I have 5 kids.
No, it was much different.
I
knew-
need
knew
some
that.
money.
Yeah.
I need to get some money
Insurance,
set
all that
aside.
crap. Yeah.
All this stuff. So
Yeah.
he's a little more impulsive. Helped push it forward because we had the
That's the
discussion.
nice way of saying stupid.
We had the discussion, maybe in 2022, 2023, and talking maybe it'll be 2023.
When do you guys open together?
May 1st, 2023 is
He
when I
started
went
in
out.
May 2023. That's when
And
the
then
call
he
came.
out January of 24.
Okay.
And then it took
I think
me,
it was right after January.
yeah, like 8 months.
But he did stuff not like he was working,
Yeah, let's
contrary to
not
how he
my
should have been.
prior employer
But
or
like he
anything.
came to court one day, right? He happened to come January 3rd of 2024. That was the first day he came to criminal court to just kind of check stuff out. Coincidentally,
with no criminal.
no
law
criminal
history.
experience at all.
Yeah.
He'd been in court, right? At that point, he'd
I
been a trial.
had maybe appeared on some
So
like
you
traffic
had something
or-
that day and he just came to
to kind of
see
just
what's up?
shadow, see what was going on.
Yeah.
And that was the day that my kid was born.
Okay.
Dramatically, like, it was,
Right,
it was
I
an
remember.
emergency birth.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I got my little leather folder and I'm like, oh, here you go, buddy. I gotta go. And
Can you stand in for me?
And I did. And I asked for continuances.
Stood in for me for like a week until I
Yeah.
got things,
Yeah.
ironed out to where I could not be in the hospital. Maybe not a whole week, maybe 4 days, because it was over the weekend. So like, I think it was 2 or 3 court days, maybe.
I don't remember what day of the week it was.
I don't know. January 3rd, 2024. What day was it? Jamie.
Tuesday.
Huh?
Are you that kind of person? I am
That's-
so
that's-
hopeful. It's
That's your
Tuesday.
kind of autism? That's awesome, man. That's not the kind I got.
Wednesday. Okay.
Wednesday, so it probably was just Wednesday and the next
So
day.
Wednesday, Thursday, and probably maybe Monday or something.
Okay.
Like, who knows? But yeah, he stood
Yeah.
in for me and was able to help me out with it, which was great. Because at the time, didn't have anybody.
Right.
It was just me.
It was literally just you.
Yeah, and then I picked up our first staff member December of that year, and then Shane popped out right after in January.
Okay. It might have been more scary for me because my dad didn't start until January 1, 2023. And I started October 17th, 2022. So my dad helped me behind the scenes, but he was still working with Preston. So I did all the, the articles, registration and registering with Secretary of State.
Did you get on that?
Found the office space, things like that. And so for 2
That
months,
stuff sucks.
For 2 months, it was just
that
me.
stuff sucks.
And it was stressful. It was miserable.
Well, you don't know what you're doing.
Did you start the
frightening.
track pretty?
And I was working, and I was working on getting meetings with at the time Drew Christensen.
God, I miss
and
him.
he helped me get
so good.
He helped me get some specialty court contracts that I had for my entire time working with my dad. And later towards our time together, I had a Henderson track as well.
You're running 3 tracks at a time?
I had 4. Yeah, I had adult drug court, felony DUI court, gambling court, and then Henderson track.
Oh wow!
Yeah, dude, the tracks they're interesting. I remember seeing you down there in drug court all the time, and how many
down a lower level.
How
yeah.
many track attorneys would go down when their clients would go?
Like from the other tracks, like assigned
Yeah,
tracks.
like me. Like my track clients.
So I didn't know if they were a track attorney or if they were retained and just doing their job. But I will say I never saw another attorney pass off their client to the specialty court programs like you did. You were the only person I ever saw do that. You would show up, you would check in, they'd be like, "Yeah, but Nick's here." I'm like, I'm just making sure he's good to go.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, great, wow.
Well,
Awesome.
it just seems like an obvious thing, right? Like if I know you're gonna have to be the guy
Yeah.
to talk to, I want to because they've been with me for however
Because
long.
I can't tell you how many times I would have a client come into felony DUI court.
You're not my attorney.
And like, you're not my attorney, or the attorney just never showed up again. And then all of a sudden, if that person was facing termination, it was technically under the contract, it was my job to represent them in the termination hearing. They would show up, and Chief Judge Weiss would be like, "Yeah, but Mr. Scotti's here. He represents him in the court. Oh, yeah, but I want to do it, and I need a continuance." And I'm thinking, this guy's going to be in jail for another 2 weeks. I got the arguments ready to go right now.
yeah.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But you were the only person that ever passed him off. I mean, you didn't go to status checks. No one needs to go to status checks. But
I did it first because I didn't know, and
Yeah.
then once I realized it was your job to do that, and you had your own track.
yeah, I mean, there were others too. There were 2 other because there were 3
whoever.
drug court days. Yeah, there were 2
yeah.
other drug court lawyers. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was, it just seemed like the thing to do, right? I would want an introduction.
And these were all district court. I didn't do the specialty courts and justice court.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll say even like our clients that hire Justin and have only talked to Justin, and I'll stand in for a day.
Who are you?
They're like, look at me,
Yeah.
like I'm
this guy?
I'm on the website. Like
is this
it's-
nondescript white
it's
man?
Cox and Wilson,
Right.
That
I'm
you
Cox.
that you
Yeah.
signed
hired
your
the fir-
retainer agreement with.
You might think you hired Justin, but you hired the firm.
And I'm Cox.
I'm
I'm
one of the
all-
owners. Yeah.
I don't have to come next time. We can get Justin here next time, but
Yeah.
open up to me a little bit and let's talk about where we're at. Even this close relationship, they're a little hesitant about. So I appreciate and understand a new face, a new suit, basically coming in a little weird.
It was refreshing. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I was just
It just didn't. It
But
just
that's
didn't
just
happen
how
very
they are.
often. And
That's
I
how
mean,
they are.
I didn't. I don't hold any grudges against the lawyers that didn't
Sure.
come, but because it was my job and I was ready for it. But it just didn't happen as much as I thought it would when I first started my.
I just
those
look
tracks.
at it like, what would I want? And that's the thing that I try to do.
Yeah.
Right? If I would want someone to at least be like, hey, I know Nick or whoever down there.
And he's the specialist in this.
he
so
knows
talk
this
to
better than
him.
I do. He's
Talk
going to be able to
him.
help you more than me.
Yeah.
I know I had your case. I trust him. You trust me. You guys should trust each other.
Right.
Please meet each other, whatever. That's the kind of thing I would want.
Right.
So
Well,
that's
'cause,
the
yeah,
reason.
there's a lot of specialties inside the programs themselves that a lot of
Yeah.
people, a lot of other attorneys might not know about. Like in felony DUI court, there were 3 or 4 cardinal rules that you could not violate, and if you did, 99% you were going to get terminated.
Absconding.
So it was absconding for, I think it was being on
60.
bench warrant for, it was
60.
90 days.
I thought it was 60.
It
Okay.
used to be 60, it was 90 days.
Okay.
So we're talking felony DUI court specifically. It was being in bench warrant for more than 6 months, absent any extenuating circumstance.
3 months.
90 days, I'm sorry, 3 months, yeah. Driving without a valid driver's license. Failing to, if you were to, every car had to have a bid or
Interlock.
a club on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it wasn't like for a regular DUI, Judge Bonaventure or whoever will just say, you can't drive without a valid driver's license or you have to have a bid. And that's the end of it. And there's no real mechanism to check and to confirm. But in the felony DUI court, not only was it the car registered to you, but any car that was maintained or operated or owned or registered at that house. So like let's just say for me, for example, if I was in felony DUI court after getting my third in 7 years and I'm in the program, my wife would have to have either a club or a breath ignition interlock device on her car. If anybody came over, let's say I had my parents over for the Super Bowl, and that just happened to be when my probation officer wanted to do a house check, and my parents' cars didn't have a club or a bid on their car, I would be arrested on the spot, and that's one of the other cardinal rules. And then the
I
fourth,
saw somebody get terminated for that, and I thought it was so stupid.
and then the fourth was when you blow into the breath ignition interlock device, even if it was an accident, you just had Listerine in your mouth, right? There's a second chance you get, and if you fail that second chance, then you would have to go UA, go take a P test within 24 hours. And if you fail to do that, then you would be set for termination as well. And those four things, absent extenuating circumstances, which I was relatively successful at arguing sometimes and keeping people in the program.
That fourth one seems weird because that's almost like, because they talk about expecting people to fall off the wagon. That's like falling off the wagon.
It is, yeah.
So like, why would they?
It was about evading.
Oh, it's more
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because look, I mean, you guys know this. When you were in the programs, you're there for a reason because you have a substance abuse issue. It doesn't matter what substance it was, right? You can get a DUI for other things too. And so if you would just acknowledge that you fell off the wagon, even if it resulted in a positive test, the response, as long as you're honest, was always treatment.
Yeah.
Let's get you
Mercy.
help. Let's get you some mercy. Let's get you some help. Let's get you back on the right track. And if you're trying to drive drunk, or even if it was just an accident and it was 2 Listerine blows and you didn't swish your mouth with water, and then you didn't go UA within 24 hours, you're kind of taking the participant's word for it, and it was hard for the hearing masters and Chief Judge Weiss to do that.
My experience watching the hearing master is they were pretty rooting for these people in the program.
100%.
They were always, okay, like, you have a problem. I want to see you succeed. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
That's why this program exists. So I went there maybe once or twice covering for Justin, and that's all that I saw in the hearing master was, okay, let's get your situation fixed. What can we do to fix it?
Yep.
You're kind of giving me excuses now is what you're doing. Let's find the solution because you drinking or whatever substance doesn't work for you. We need you.
Right.
away
I think it
from
was
that.
Catherine on your episode last week. She was saying how she would have clients in the mental health court or co-occurring. And she was saying, her client would give her a community service sheet that we know is BS. It was our job to prevent them from presenting that to the hearing master or to the judge so they don't get in trouble and
Save them from themselves.
Save them from themselves, exactly, yeah. But the 3 judges that I worked most closely with in the specialty courts were hearing master Shannon Wittenberger. She's an angel. She's awesome. I wouldn't say she's a true believer, but she believes in the cause and in trying to help people, but she's not afraid to lay their hammer down. Judge Gall, Maria Gall, Department 9, she ran gambling court. She started like a month before I got that contract. And then Chief Judge Weiss and all the termination hearings, who himself, until I think he's up this summer, he also runs tap and open programs.
Yeah, that's. Who I've
And
seen
all
most.
3 of them were, there's been that Nat here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's fucking.
I think he got it, yeah. All 3 of them were awesome to work with. I miss them.
The transition that the career trajectory you've had, criminal defense, open your own firm, criminal defense, maybe a little bit of general lit, into these tracks and everything, and now you're transitioning to be a prosecutor.
I am, hopefully.
How do you feel?
Fingers crossed. Well, so I don't think
I mean,
was
is there
ever...
something about your past, like were you
I'm running from something.
apparently?
No, I'm not. It's, that's a complicated question to answer, but I will say this. When I realized I wanted to become a lawyer, I never wanted to be a criminal defense attorney, like, per se. I just liked practicing criminal law, and I kind of fell into practicing criminal defense, and I loved it.
It's the quickest to get into.
It was meaningful work. I loved it. There was all kinds of opportunities, whether it's a public defender or the several dozen, private guys that are here in town. But the way I ended up actually starting my career in criminal defense is because when my dad was a judge, our former boss that we worked together with had a case in front of my dad, and it was after the October 1 shooting. And our former boss represented the widow of one of the slain off-duty Metro officers that was on scene, and his autopsy report was at risk of being published and disseminated across the country. And it showed the most intimate and gory detail, not showed the pictures of, but described in intimate and gory details the last moments of his life. And his wife wanted absolutely nothing to do with that being publicly disseminated.
Duh.
So they filed a lawsuit to try to prevent that from happening. By then, it had already been spread. I think the Review Journal got their hands on it, and it had been spread to Associated Press, USA Today, Baltimore Sun, et cetera. And my dad, credit to him, very brave decision. He said that Review Journal had to give it all back. They appealed it. Nevada Supreme Court, I think they overturned it on an unconstitutional clawback provision of the First Amendment since it already had been disseminated. But Tony, our former boss, he gained a lot of respect from my dad in making that decision. And so that happened around the time, summer 2019 or so, when I was coming back from law school, looking for a job. He called up Tony, said, hey, my son's looking for a job. I interviewed, I started there. And that's how I got into criminal defense. And by then I was, jumped into the deep end, learned to swim or sink. And I, at the time as I was starting my career, I want to be like Dominic Gentile. I want to be like Tony. I want to be like all these heavyweights in the field that have made names for themselves. The guys in the younger generations like Tom Sheck and Troiano, et cetera, Helmick. And that's what I wanted to be. And I loved criminal law. I was getting to do it. And then the opportunity with my dad came up. And so I still practiced criminal defense then. And then I think right now, finally, I made a decision for myself to do what I think is right for me. Because like I said at the beginning, is my dad's always been involved in public service and trying to serve the community. And there's not going back to the Revolutionary War period, but there's enough of a history of service in my family that made me feel like this was the right move for me.
Sure.
And so when I started my career, my dad's given me a connection. I choose my dad to leave my firm that I had a good setup with, and now I'm choosing myself.
That's good. Well, I mean, I truly think that it's going to make you a better prosecutor having the experience you do. Your bullshit meter, both directions, are going to be better
100%.
than some of these people. And it's no shade on them. It's not a diss. Like, it's just life, right? You don't have the experience.
Yeah.
You don't have that wisdom that somebody who's dealt with this from a different angle has, and you'll have that.
I've heard some prosecutors that question defense attorneys' control of clients sometimes, and are like, why can't you get your client to accept this deal? It's like, they're their own human being.
It's his life. That's why.
And even if it's best for him, he might not be able to see that.
Right. It was our job to help them weigh pros and cons. The choice was ultimately always up to them.
And so, as a prosecutor, later you'll see, okay, I know it's not you because I know you, and I know you're trying to convince him to take.
But
this.
you'll also know the bullshitters. The defense attorneys that are just trying to blow smoke.
I'll be able to see that, but I think I'll also, I think I'll be able to see the human behind it.
Sure.
The human behind the crime. There are certain red lines in the sand you can't draw. And I know you had a job to protect their rights as a defense attorney, but if it's violent or guns or sex crimes, heavy drug trafficking, things like that,
there's serious stuff.
There's serious stuff out there, and that's going to have to be handled seriously by me once I'm prosecuting those cases. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to see the human behind it still.
Sure.
It just means that there's a different level of analysis that I'll have to use in whether crafting a plea or how hard charging I want to be when I'm prosecuting something.
Well, and also the good news is you're not going to go into this by yourself, right? You'll be doing it, and you're going to have marching orders on some stuff.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate when people tell me, hey, this is out of my hands.
Yeah.
Hey, the media's got this case.
You got a job to do.
And we hear that.
You have an office reputation to uphold.
Yeah.
You have a boss who's a elected official, and I'm going to follow those marching orders to the best of my ability. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. It's an interesting thing, and I do think you're doing it the right way, because I can certainly say, like, if I could go back to 2017 and talk to baby prosecutor Justin, I'd tell him to, first off, he needs to relax anyway. I need to relax now. I don't know how, but he needed to relax on some of that stuff and maybe be a little less zealous.
It's not about
Were you pretty strict
winning
when you started?
I wasn't strict. I was just really, really into the fray of it all. I liked that part. And I would come up with what I thought were fair offers. And in retrospect, they weren't as fair as I could have been. They weren't bad. I wasn't like some people. I've never been like some people. But I wasn't the way that I wish I would have been, if that makes sense.
It does, yeah.
And I think we all grow up and we get better and we relax and we see, Except
You
for him,
see
people
things
that were
in different
perfect their
light.
whole life.
Yeah, it's true.
No, but it's just that's it. I got a little bit more experience and I would have changed some of that stuff. But I don't it's not like I sit there and I'm, gnashing my teeth over how terrible I was. It wasn't that. I never did anything bad. I never no Brady issues. I never did any of that kind of crazy crap.
Right.
I was always
Maybe
very
just a little like zealous in the argument for like sentencing, things like that? Or-
sometimes.
Yeah.
But, no, sentencing was never my issue. The only time you got the sentence out of me whenever, especially in Kansas, because you had to meet the guidelines.
Yeah.
The way that Kansas sets, it's like offense level here, history here. If you don't meet to the point, you're not going to get prison anyway. You have to file a motion for an upward or downward deviation.
Okay, so it's kind of like federal then.
Kind of like federal.
Okay.
But once we got there, in those situations, usually a violent crime, usually something involving something a little crazy where there's been some harm to the community, you're getting the business. But what I would always do, and I regret this a little bit, is I was really interested in making felons. And now I know that's not the best. Because now I understand truly. And I knew before, I don't know, it was a weird thing, man. It was just like, some of these crimes, man, like certain
That
ones.
closes options for them in
closes
their
options
career and
for 'em.
maybe opens future criminal
Future bad
enterprises.
doors. Yeah.
And the other thing is they didn't have the same drop down schedule we have here, right? There's a middle ground. It's like a mechanism for, hey, we're going to give you the opportunity, and it's a real one. This is a real opportunity for you to pick yourself up,
Right.
and change your trajectory of your own life. They didn't have that, so
Oh, it's like you have a felony now for 2 years, finish probation, you have a gross.
correct.
Yeah, they
and
don't have that in
that's
Kansas.
brilliant. I think that is the best wake up call a person could get.
Yeah.
You're going to get to see a snapshot of what the
Of
rest
what
of
the rest of your life
the
could
rest
look
of
like.
existence while you are
Yeah.
on this planet can be like.
Yeah.
Unless suddenly the power goes out and there are no rules.
Right.
But until that happens, this is your life. Or you can be back to the way you were before.
Right.
And I think it's great. And I wish that, I just wish I'd done things a little bit differently is all. But now you know,
Now I know.
and you'll do what you got to do
Yeah.
while still maintaining that level of wisdom. And I think it's going to be a really good opportunity.
There's certainly going to be a learning curve in changing my perspective since
Yeah.
I've had the same one for 6 years. But as far as the day-to-day work, working up a case, being able to analyze constitutional and legal issues and
Sure.
police reports and briefs and things like that, I'm going to hit the ground running once I start.
Well, it'll be good. You'll be in appeals anyway, so you're going to get to see that as well,
Yeah.
which is good.
Those are the crazy cases too. Usually that you get up on appeal.
Dude,
and crazy issues.
the best are the pro se petitions for writ of habeas corpus. motion to dismiss for extreme and outrageous conduct and complicit blah blah blah. It's like word salad, and it's like it does mean something, but it's like
You
what
have to
is
respond
this?
to it. Yeah.
But did you know that you can motion anything?
What are
What do you mean?
trying to say?
Motion for anything?
You can motion for anything. You could say
Well, yeah,
defendant's motion
there's a
for
general motion code. I know.
No,
that.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying you could say defendant's motion to wear flip flops in the courtroom. You could make defendant's motion for the court to fuck itself. Like I've seen those that have been filed.
I don't know. I've never
it's
seen
on
that
TV
one. But
It's on the internet. Like I don't
Okay.
know if it's real, but it looks like it. And you could imagine a pro se defendant being like, "I'm going to write this out and then fuck you, judge." Like I could see that happening because I've seen videos of defendants in courtrooms getting into it with the judge, and it's like, motion for the court to go. I don't know.
All your base are belong to
All your base are belong to us. Yeah, just I don't know. I think it'll be fun. for
motion
you,
to
man.
wear flip flops in court. That's a
I made
good
that
one.
up.
Okay, that's
But
a good one. That'd be funny.
But
Justin's filing it soon.
Bro,
you should.
motion for cut off jean shorts, a band t-shirt, and flip flops. It's almost summer.
Summer, yeah.
Summer. It's almost
I
summer.
got one for you. Motion that prosecutor has to go to open mat with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
motion for open map.
But then they're gonna put what's his face in there, that black belt from Couture, and be like, all right, he's gonna be my champion. It's like, all right, let's do this.
Oh no, there's
I go-
prosecutors with black belt.
Yeah.
Is there really?
Yeah. Greek
what's
guy.
What's Katora?
Extreme Couture is another gym.
Okay.
He's Greek.
Greg,
yeah.
Takis? Is he
Takis,
really?
yeah.
Oh,
He's a black belt.
good for him.
You wouldn't
Yeesh.
know it. He's always got those really tight shirts. I mean, you can see that he's buff,
Yeah.
but like
He's very calm, low key.
super chill.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu guys.
Is
Jiu-jitsu-
concentrated.
They tend to be, don't they?
They tend to be pretty
Yeah.
chill. I think I'm the anomaly.
Yeah.
But like in correct me if I'm wrong here, but when I'm at practice, I'm pretty calm.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
didn't
don't-
know you were like this until I got to know you out of jiu-jitsu.
I didn't know you were like this. He says.
All right.
We have 2 years of experience of doing this podcast together. So
no,
you know.
but and I think that's an interesting thing because like when I talked about checking my blood pressure afterwards, and it's perfect, bro.
Yeah.
I never feel more relaxed than when I've gotten thrashed for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that it's not a medical issue and it's probably a mental thing. I'm probably letting myself get wound up, and
Yeah.
I don't know how to achieve the zen
It can.
of having a 200-pound man try to strangle
Mental
me.
stress can cause an increase in blood pressure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like that time, like when we're getting after it, or like my buddy Justin, he's got the grip of a freaking vice. He's a skinny little guy, kind of looks like Ichabod Crane a little bit. He always jokes about his big schnoz. Dude, if he gets a hold of you,
Really?
you're not getting him off you. He's not very big. He's lighter than me, but his hands are like half again
Like
as big
oven
as
mitts?
mine. Bro, it's weird. But like having him just like try to break my stuff, I don't know. I feel afterwards I feel great. And then I come to work sometimes and start twitching and shit, you know? Anyway, we've been talking for a long time, man.
Have we really? Oh, wow.
70 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's the longest episode we've had in a while. So you're going to be over at the DA's office soon. Excited about that.
Fingers crossed, yep.
Anything else you want to
No,
chat about?
I appreciate you guys having me on.
It's been fun.
Yeah,
We wanna have you on again.
I'll talk here for 3 hours. You guys are my friends. This
You're
isn't
the
just
most handsome guy we've had on
shooting
ever.
some content. so-
Oh, Serrano's going to be pissed now. I don't think he watches our stuff.
I listen to it. I don't watch it, but I do see like your snippets on Instagram.
Yeah, I've had
But
a
if
couple.
I'm like if I'm going beginning to end of an episode, I just listen to it on Apple
Yeah,
Podcasts.
same.
Yeah.
With Spotify, but yeah, I just listened to it. Yeah. Anyway, guys,
Peace out.
peace
out. Thanks for
Thanks for having
being
me,
on,
guys.
Nick.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, dude.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
You want some snacks?
Do you have snacks?
Yeah, we got all kinds.